Hey everybody, welcome back to another recap of White Roots, the
Mm.
Handmaid's Tale recap show here with Jade and XD.
I had an intro,
First
but it
few
was not.
minutes.
It was very inappropriate, so I couldn't.
What
Straight
was
out
it?
the gate.
Well, remember, we're on YouTube for the first few minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, regardless, no
okay.
matter where we were, I think it's only appropriate in hell. But
Okay, that's fine. Um, because it's a longer episode, we'll probably do the first 30 minutes for free here on YouTube, and then you can catch the subsequent recap over behind the gates over on our Patreon. But again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell wherever you're watching to make sure you get more news and views from Jade and XD, and it'll really help the show. Now, let me explain. We were gone for a little bit because, hey, I had a death in the family. Died, I had to watch him die. So,
why would you
I
say
mean,
it?
hey,
I mean, this
because
is the
people need to
place.
know and ask for irrational things. So now I'm going to give you the real deal of why this was not here. You know why? Because I had to watch die. And that's in relation to this show. Because we've had to watch die in 2 episodes.
First of all, in 1,000 episodes, but
But you know what I mean.
I'm a little sorry. I'm a little. You just gave me a little vertigo.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like,
Had to shock the system because
how
we
do I
back.
right? I'm like, it's like a cold plunge. You know what I'm Okay. Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa to these episodes.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes.
glad we
And
stuck around.
Me too. I gotta be honest, even without like what was happening in my real world, I was really like hesitant to watch these because as traumatic as this show is, I didn't want it to end.
Well, we have another episode, but I know.
It's still the end. You know what I mean?
It's like,
Especially how this ends.
whoa.
So it's like, and I understand that they're definitely doing the work to set up for the sequel that's about to happen.
Hannah's
I don't know
revenge.
if I'm gonna
Blana's
watch it.
revenge.
Yes, but I want to start out by saying that Elizabeth Scientology can direct her ass off.
Let me tell you.
She didn't direct 608. She did 609.
She did 609, but 609. She put her pussy on the table. Oh wait, it's YouTube. She put her on the table. Like this did her fantastic work. And if you go back and look at all of the episodes she directs, like she clearly has a gift and also has learned the particular language of Handmaid's Tale. Like she knows what's getting ready to captivate and appeal to us now at this point. But 609, I was like, if you are never proud of yourself for anything in your life, be proud of that mother. That episode should sew just all of that up for you. But
it's the 10th anniversary of the ending of Mad Men.
Yes, Peggy.
So it's been a lot of like that energy with her and Don Draper and all that stuff. So like I find that it's super interesting how far she has come as an actress. Also, I happened to we were driving around and we ended up by Bigology Center, the Celebrity Center and things. And they're doing
the Celebrity Center or the main one with the lions with the roaming eyes.
The Celebrity Center. However, we did have to go
Spooky
around
Castle.
the corner. Right. But they're doing major construction on both buildings. They just got this new LED screen or whatever, and it's really strange. They might be. But I don't know. If you go down, Vermont or whatever, you'll see they done blocked it off. I feel like they're preparing for something new.
I need you to check for something for me at the Celebrity Center. I will never forget driving past it twice. Because it looks like a creepy, like what's
it looks like a haunted mansion.
Yeah, what's the ride at Disney World?
Hollywood Tower.
The haunted. You go to the 13th floor or whatever. Okay, so
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror. If you look all the way at the top of that Celebrity Center, there's a window that has there's just one window that is lit, like there's a candle or a lamp that is fueled by
Yeah.
a fuel or a
Yeah.
liquid, and it is the
Kerosene.
creepiest. Thank you. I couldn't. So
I gotcha.
there's one window with it, and it is still.
Yes, and so I think about that window often because you remember in was it Going Clear? That woman who tried to save, John Travolta?
We've watched so
Eh
much.
right, and she was talking about there's a window that she, like, peered out of. There's, like, this one sole window because remember they, like, put her into slavery like handmaids?
Yeah.
And so that was her window, and then either way, I think about that window whenever I pass by. It's still there. It's like a one creepy ass, like,
One creepy window.
open.
Yes.
Right. So let's dive into 608.
Exodus. Exodus.
Right. We open and if I encourage you all to watch inside the episode because it is really good at what they do in explaining. But they do make a very good point to talk about fast fashion, right? They talk about the world that before Gilead and how, fashion was once used to protect us and then we bastardized it and we filled it all, our rivers and seas with, tube tops and other accoutrements from Shein and 579.
I'm telling it was 579 that 579 Charlotte
Yeah.
Russe. They really started the ruin.
American Eagle.
American. Yeah, oh yeah. But they tried to do things under the guise of anyway.
Yeah. So anytime you slap American on the name, all of a sudden they think they're absolved of.
Yeah, of course.
But
Easy pickings. That's why Khloe
right.
Kardashian named them jeans Good American. She knew what she was doing with that.
Exactly. I do want to say, because it starts out with June is narrating, right?
Oh, yes.
And so I talked about, well, I didn't talk about it, but I was watching Elizabeth Scientology's Instagram. And so people tag her a lot and shit. And so there's these spoilers or these like fan theories or whatever about how the show's going to end. And so in the book, they find these recordings, audio recordings of June, and that's how and the Handmaid's Tale is June's account or off Red's account because they didn't know her name was June in the book.
Right.
So I'm wondering if after all is said and done, this is her. The story ends with her recounting all of what happened. Because I'm like, why is she narrating this way?
True. That's true.
And she has narrated sometime before.
Yes.
And I'm
yes.
like,
and
what is this Moesha
it is
tea?
a lot. It is a lot more like June Mitchell.
Yeah.
But remember the last episode, we started off with that whoa baby moment with the girls getting gunned down. So we ended with June and Commander Spicy, aka Nick, in the closet where she basically, the veil came off. She realized who he is and who he has been all of this time. So they gunned down all the girls except Janine. OMG. Those two come out the closet after that scene, and he tells June that he made sure that Janine was safe and that they only killed the other girls. Like, that makes it better. So he takes her to no man's land and she gets out the car early. She's pissed off. Like, she doesn't want to deal with him. She's realizing he's a coward. She's realizing he's a pussy. Like, he has no scruples. How do you stand up with no spine? And he gets out the car and he's like, you forget that I'm a commander until it's useful for you.
Wait, that's the previous episode.
Oh, wait. Am I in the wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, we're only one episode behind?
There's the one that dropped today. We're on 608 and 609. So there's Exodus and then there's Execution.
There was Exodus.
Exodus, the one you're looking at is Shattered.
Wait. What is happening? Pause.
because she gets out the car. You're talking about where she gets out the car, and he was like, "You
Yeah.
never support me when I support you." Yeah, that's 607.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're absolutely correct. Oh! Wait. Wait.
Does your note says where Luke talks to her and says, don't be in love with the Nazi."
Yes, because we talked about that, right?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's
Oh,
607.
you're right. Where the fuck is 608? Huh. Okay. Well, I remember it, so we could just. Where
Okay.
the fuck
I
is
got
my
you covered.
notes? God damn,
I
nigga,
got you
what
covered.
am I? Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Never mind. I found
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Rewind.
Okay. So, back to the beginning. They're talking about fast fashion and clothes,
Yes.
and they talk about how now
Thank
this
you.
once traditional robe, which was supposed to be of piety and whatever, is now of rage and now will be used as a weapon. And
Mm-hmm.
so now these little heifers done figured out a way to put like shanks and like in the robes that they done made for the special occasion.
You see, and this is why America has got to stop with China.
So, you know what I thought? Like in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, is this like biological warfare?" Like, because when they were doing laundry or things, I thought they were like dousing them with chemicals, and so that when Serena done put on that ugly
Oh
dress, we talked
no.
about,
I knew
but
from jump, I was like, these are putting razors under their tongues via garb. But no,
okay,
I knew.
gotcha.
Howsoever,
Yeah,
no, y'all have got stop with China. Leave them alone. Okay. There's too much
yeah,
power. You are
yeah.
with the wrong people. That's all I'm saying. If this didn't tell you something, these were white who got a hold of Chinese. Stop with China, okay? Leave the
Yeah,
people alone and let us be. But
yeah.
yeah, they're getting into handmaid formation. Like, I mean, it is
Mm-hmm.
planning, dotting the I's, crossing the
Mm-hmm.
T's.
June is secretly grabbing bitches' hands and just like,
Yeah,
we are in formation.
it is time. Yes.
Now it's time for the wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you notice, this is one of the brightest scenes that they have had this season.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
Normally the show is very dark, but this was rather bright for them. There's everybody, of course, the handmaids enter first. Remember that Serena wanted them to come to show that we're all mishpucha, we're all people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, Even though we all know, lol, right? So all the dolls and divas filter in one by one
Mm-hmm.
in their hat and red garb or whatever. Um, Now I did not prepare or didn't know that Commander Spicy White was going to be the officiant
I said, is
of
this everything? He's the best man, the wedding planner, the
the
aficionado,
wedding
the
planner,
prayer person, the
head
deacon,
of the
the bishop,
CIA,
yeah,
the fucking like
the
Pope.
caterer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he is everything. He is a white Jamaican. That is so interesting.
he
So,
is. He is with his little inbred
mhm,
wife.
yeah. Well, I mean,
You know,
yeah.
you ever seen a
So,
white woman's titty, like a redhead titty?
oh, how it looked like a
With
teardrop?
yeah, but it's like pale, and then it's like
Yeah.
like Target. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
that's what
The white woman titty.
she
That's
looks
what
like
you
a
look.
white woman titty, like a redhead titty.
Anyway, I didn't understand how long Rose is gonna be pregnant. I'm like, God damn, she has been pregnant for
For
3
3
seasons.
seasons.
Longer than Mariah Carey.
God
It's
damn.
wild.
Because remember, she came up. Because wasn't she
Hmm.
originally from Euphoria? Isn't that who she was originally? Or didn't they do like a
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes, yes,
Claire Kyle
yes.
on her? A swap
Yes,
out?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, they did.
Mhm.
Um, so Serena walks down the aisle in this ugly princess Diana gown.
It was like an ice blue wedding gown. It was fit for like a colonial lesbian. It was
Yeah, it was like if Hillary Clinton wore it, like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it was very yeah, you know how I feel about her. Like, ah, but but it's not her, it's the people that support her. Those are
I
2 different
know,
things.
I know, I
So, but, I mean,
know.
her too, but
Oh,
however.
oh, oh,
Um
yeah.
Anywho, I'm still trying to work through Blaine officiating this after he just killed 2 people like 3 days ago. First you shot and you loving up on trying to let me escape, and then you snitched to have like half a city killed, like down in the whorehouse.
He's
So like
chaotic.
that's not Nick Blaine.
Yeah,
Anywho,
truly, truly.
the
Can't wait to
girls
get to
get
that.
active during the ceremony. They start passing
Yes.
by blades and whatever
Yeah.
and it's a system
Mhm.
until
One
one of the
bitch.
divas is a
One
little
bitch.
slippery with the phalanges and
Uh,
drops it during the most quiet part of the whole ceremony. You couldn't drop it during the little. I'd have hated the song she walked down the aisle to. It was super like
what she walked on the aisle
eh,
to? I don't even remember.
something classical and ugly.
Okay.
Um,
Probably
so
a
like
Dutch origin.
anywho, a guard hears the little a little thing drop.
Mhm.
And so they're like, pivot, pivot,
Right, they're
pivot.
like, "Plan B, Plan B, stand down."
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to point out that I love that Janet from The Good Place is a part this season. She is a welcome addition to this season.
First of all, I was just pleased to see her. I told you initially in the
She's in
episode where I
everything.
was reading the wrong notes. And then
Mhm,
we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So June suddenly lets them know, like, let's just wait for the reception,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Subtly, with
Mm.
just a quick nod and the divas fell in formation.
There's really, really white tubmen out here. It's insane. Um,
Mhm, mhm.
insane. So Serena switches, you got to switch outfits up. She's the star of the show. She goes into a modest mother-in-law dress for the reception.
Yeah,
Um,
she loves dressing matronly.
they all do. That's,
Yeah.
that's part of the whole.
It works for Naomi, but her, I don't know. Like, you know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
that's Gilead. So, they're not
But,
allowed
like,
to, they like Pentecostals. They can't show no knees. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah,
Dare
yeah.
top of a titty, no clavicle, you know.
I don't know, because I follow this well, I don't follow, she shows up in my Instagram a lot, this Muslim lady, and she be like,
That's
"Who
different.
says just because I gotta dress this way don't
Is
mean I
that
can't
mama who
sharpen
be
it up?"
putting on like a club top over the yes? Let me tell you, that's dressing, okay? Dressing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
watching her. She's like, excuse me,
Yeah,
put on
I'd be like, "You
look at
know
this
what?
dad
You
cap
got
over
that
this
shit on,
hijab.
sis."
She got that on. She got that
Uh,
on. When she be putting the little earrings over her hijab,
mhm.
I'm like, get jazzy on them, shush. I love it.
Yes,
I love
yes.
it.
So, yes, we're at the first dance of the Whartons, and they are still passing out the weapons. They got back to the right?
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Serena goes over to Lawrence. They chat, and Lawrence has been on edge ever
yeah,
since
child.
he found out that they tried to plot on killing him because he just don't know the day or the hour. You know what I mean?
That nigga's been on edge since Billy Madison when he was supposed to take over the company.
He's been on edge since West Wing because that shouldn't and rightfully so because he was like chief of staff of West Wing. It was a lot,
Mm.
but
Hold on, pause. Have you looked at the size of that man's head?
Bradley, yeah, and I don't know help because
When they put
he
him in the
has a small
profiles,
frame.
yeah, but that head.
You know what though? It's his beard that takes up a lot of real estate because if you look at like older pictures of him, he does not look like that at all. and your head doesn't grow.
No, go
But
look at him from Billy Madison. Now that I'm thinking about it, that head was huge. He has a
see,
big ass head.
On West Wing, it wasn't that big, or even that
I feel
choir
like
show that
Get
you made
Out.
me watch.
What choir show did I make you watch?
Remember, he had a show right before Handmaid's Tale, or maybe before he got on Handmaid's Tale, and he was like the leader of a choir on Fox.
I made you watch that?
Yeah, like or maybe did I tell you about this? Like, cause we've had to have this conversation because you were.
What's his name again?
You're the other person I talked to, Bradley. Bradley Witt
It's
something.
not Bradley Whitford.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, he got a big head. Okay, hold on. Let's look. Yeah, YouTube. This is what happens on Patreon. Our ADHD takes over. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Let me go to his TVography.
Oh,
Television. Yeah. Okay, you said it was just before Handmaid's Tale?
It's in the late 20s, like maybe 2018, 2019. It was on Fox.
He was on a show called All the Way, Better Things, Mom, Chicago Justice, Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, Brooklyn Nine-Nine? No?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Hold on. Let's see. His head is not that big.
His head is big.
No, it's not. It's not like, okay, filmography, okay, TV, blah, blah,
Like,
blah, blah,
look
blah.
At him. This is what he looked like when he was in Billy Madison. This is a big head. It's a big head. I'm not a small-headed person, so I feel like...
Yeah, I just don't... Is it The Parish? No. It was earlier than this.
I definitely didn't tell you to watch
Perfect Harmony. Yes, that's what it was called. Perfect Harmony.
I don't recall that show at all.
Where he was a music director at a small town church, and he had to like get the choir back together.
Can he sing?
It was very much like White Fighting Temptations.
I was like, why does Sister Act coming to mind? But anyway, okay. I don't know. So, well, he's sulking because, you know, he's playing both sides, and Papa is... He's also like every episode you can see just the guilt and realization of like, God damn, I really fucked this shit up. Like, I really took drag way too far with Gilead. I really did my big one.
Right. So after they chat, Serena gets the great idea to greet the handmaids to, you know, let them know that, you know, she appreciates them and all that. June is like, oh, this. So like her and Moira like scoot to the back, you know, so that they could be incognito. So Serena, you know, in true white women forms, gives this speech about June essentially, and how, you know, she had to forgive a handmaid. You know, she did wrong to June and June did wrong to her, but they've grown and now they're friends. And, you know, Galinda and Elphaba, you know, Bumblebee Tuna, all that, whatever. Yeah. And the whole time, June is like, like, you keep telling niggas that we friends and stop saying that.
Like,
stop telling that lie.
Like, right. You and your gangbanged me like one time together. Like, what are we talking about right now? This is not like, I did not steal your homework and copy your paper. Like,
right.
What are you saying to me?
And thankfully, Auntie Rita, you know, Rita Vision, Rita's Hour of Power, because she had to come in to save the day in 2 episodes. Black women saving the day again.
Because, like, what else?
Because what? It's the show is written so well. It's true to form. They write white women well. They understand that black people like get the moving, because who's the head of Mayday? That weird dyke black lady who we
There's so much to bleep here. Because I was about to be like, you have to gang me. You have to bleep me. I said gangbang. You have to bleep
Yeah.
that.
Oh, we got a program for that. It's fine.
Yes. And in true Black woman fashion, TT Rita originally was like, "This is not my business. Like, I did my part. I'm here for
Yeah.
me now. Okay, I'm here for me. I
Yes.
deserve." And then it's like, "Ah, here I come, having to save the goddamn day."
Right. Well, she comes in and saves them and lets the divas know, like, keep on keeping on. You know, don't stop no show. I got the covered in the cake.
Exactly.
Y'all do what y'all need to do. Because remember, they gave her. I thought she was gonna poison everybody and kill everybody in
Me
Gilead.
too. I was like, why did we play this long game here? Why did we
All she
get
did
these
was
niggas out of
give
here?
them like Snorlax in the cake, and so everybody in the town went to bed.
But also, everything that I thought that I wanted or was going to see, I'm glad that it happened the way that it did, as opposed to my own vision.
Yes.
You know, because I thought we were getting a red wedding. I thought it was getting ready to be slaughterhouse.
Me too, but that would have meant the episode would have ended in like 20 minutes.
Exactly.
So...
I realized that when we got to the wedding, I was like, "Oh, nobody's getting killed at this wedding today."
Yeah, not today. No. So, everybody's eating the cake except for Lawrence. Lawrence was forcing Naomi to eat the cake.
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, girl, eat it. You look too thin."
He's like, yes, because she gets on his last nerve. Honestly,
he cannot stand Naomi. I mean,
gets on his nerves.
If
she's aggravated.
He don't like anybody. He just misses his wife because he never had the chance to really grieve her. You know. And he sees
he killed her. Let's be clear. Like, you killed your wife with this foolishness. So it's much guilt that he has to live with. But yeah, and I think Naomi gets on his last nerve, but I also think he's a bit endeared to her at this point. Get out of here, fly. I think he's a bit like a little endeared to her, but not romantically, but also like, go to sleep because I don't want to talk to you. And don't forget, Serena asked the handmaid, she was like, "We're going to take a group picture after the cake and stuff. We're going to take a group picture. Everybody mask off. And so, that's when it's like, oh, Mayday, because June and Moira. But they are able to skirt out of the picture by the cake cutting and, the festivities having to carry on.
Out of there.
Did real quick. She got them out of there. TT Rita made sure that they focused on the cake and they had to, do the switch up because Aunt Lydia, who was supposed to be in DC, remember, Commander Get Out sent her to DC so that she could be up out of their hair because she's just too nosy. She shows up like, I had to show my face. So, and you can't, at this point, I'm thinking that June has a smell.
Yeah, they sniff her out.
Everybody sniffs. I'm like, does she have a copper IUD? Like, is it like, does she stand in the rain too long? Like, is it Glossier? I don't know, but like, there's some sort of smell. She's got a smell because everybody always be like, that bitch is here. Nick did it when she would, and June be real bold with where she stands too. But Nick did, he was like, I sense that bitch. And then Aunt Lydia was like, June Osborne is here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, after this whole ordeal, the Whartons finally go home. He picks up Serena Joy and carries her over the threshold, real tradish, all that jazz. And normally husbands surprise their wives with like a surprise destination honeymoon
or a necklace.
If this was the 50s, it would have been like furniture
or a toaster oven.
like something like that, like a credenza even, but
Frigidaire.
No. Yeah, he surprised her
with a bitch. I'm sorry. I got you on her knees.
Yeah.
In any other scenario, maybe somebody might, but she was like, I thought I told you, Will Gardner, that I
Mm-hmm.
don't want
Mm-hmm.
no other up in here. Okay, I'm not with that no more. I've changed. That's not my
Mm-hmm.
life. I don't want that anymore. And she's spawning a nuke. Okay, Serena's having a whole fit. If for whatever god awful reason you want more Jade and XD, make sure you subscribe to us on Patreon.